So, we're back live from game number 2 of the day from the beautiful Prairie View Cricket Complex, the DAFA News Houston Open 2023. Now, this is played back of a length, nudge to short third man, just a single. And with me, I have my good friend Lenny, Mr. Leonard.
Thanks, Munir. We would have seen a big shot from Avdesh, already getting a maximum. There's 7 for no loss. Unique Tigers have won the toss. They've elected to bat. And they will have to get going in terms of getting points on the table. Not a promising start, but still some ways to go. Maybe half of today and then tomorrow for teams to really make an impression on this tournament. But they will have to get going very quickly, Munir. Time is running out.
Yeah, and the afternoon start. There's no excuse of that early morning new ball movement, so have to come out all guns blazing. As this one is angled down the leg side, and the call is for a wide from the umpire.
So their first match, they would have taken on Clarion Eagles. Imagine when they lost 180 to 146. We saw Hanchard Hamilton, who will come a little bit later on. Not to be confused with Jamar Hamilton, who we saw earlier on. He made 80 in that game, so a game in which they will want to do good.
And this one again, that good bounce. We've seen if the bowlers have bent their backs, there has been some handsome rewards for them, as we saw on that occasion.
Yeah, good start here from Avdesh Kumar. We saw the first ball would have gone for 6 off the bat of Azim Charania. Well, relative to that, he has made a very good comeback. We saw a wide in the over. Other than that, we've seen 2.
Invitation to go over mid-wicket for 6 runs. Second 6 of the over.
So Kumar runs in. Short ball, given the treatment here from Sahil Charania. And that has gone for the maximum. A couple of maximums to start this over. And they're off to a quick start. They're 15 for no loss.
Yeah, they should want to pull this back as soon as possible and finish strongly. Another little shortish offer delivery, and it seemed he has chopped it on. He was trying to get back on the back foot and play that cut shot. Took the inside edge of the bat, and his stumps have been dismissed, as you see there, Lenny.
Yeah, trying to play a chop shot through the offside. Ball comes off the edge and trickle onto the stumps. So they have lost their first wicket. Unique Tigers, they're 1 down with 15 on the board.
So back live, like we were saying, the first 4 balls had been a mixed bag from Avdesh, and he needed to finish the over strong, and he's done exactly that. As the new batsman Vivek is rattled by the first delivery, which was moving into his rib cage, nicely defended at the end. It's 15 for 1 at the end of the first over. Right, so coming back live from the second over of the innings. The first over, there was a breakthrough as Mahidar comes in from the forest end. Prajit Mudi, the wicketkeeper, he's known to be a chirpy kind. Plays a lot of his cricket for Seattle, and that one goes straight into Prajit's gloves, teasing him outside that off stump. Great line and length. Good start.
Yeah, good start here from Mullapuri. And they're off to a very good start. We saw the fall of Mark Parchment off the bowling of Avdesh Kumar. And while the first over would have gone for 15, Munir, you can't put a price on a wicket.
And this one was nice and full as that fielder at long on, in fact long off, converges. Just a single, gets to the fielder on a couple of bounces. But good intent there from Azim.
Yeah, Azim Charania, he's a quality player, loves to play some shots. And we'll have to give the Unique Tigers a very good start. Second time we're beginning to see a couple of teams with similar uniforms coming up against each other. We saw at the back of us not too long ago, we saw Kingsmen and Houston Stars, similar uniforms.
And this one is nice and full, nicely driven, and the non-striker had a one-way ticket to the dugout, but luckily he was able to get back in time by the time the throw came in from mid-off.
So 81 balls remaining. Want to remind our viewers today's games will be 15 overs aside for the organizers to catch up on a day lost yesterday.
Again, that nice back of length, that hard length like we call it, Lenny. One of the safest options in T20 cricket.
Yeah, this has been a very good over here from Mahidar Mullapuri. He's kept things relatively tight. Look, he's bowled 4 balls. He's only given up a single run. The other 3 have been dot balls. This has been a very good start from him.
And again, that good line and length on that occasion gave him a little bit of room, allowed the batsman to free his hands. Just a single, no damage done.
Yeah, if there was probably a loose ball in what we have seen so far, it might have been that delivery. But Vivek couldn't get much on it, only got a single, and this still continues to be a very good start from Mahidar. They have already picked up 1 with Mark Parchment back in the shade. And so the boys, Seattle.
And this one, he advances down the track. There's an appeal. It seems he has indeed nicked it. So that's a big wicket.
So another one falls. 2 wickets down for 17 on the board. And look at that. This time Vivek, in fact, Azim goes and it's 17 for 2.
Back live in the third over of the innings. Seattle Thunderbolts have made a great start. Both the new ball bowlers have had their fair share of wickets, 1 for each of them. And speaking of Seattle Thunderbolts, Lenny, they're quite an established franchise. The same folks, if not the same players, the management was part of the franchise that won the recent edition of Minor League in 2022. So a well-gelled, well-managed unit it is for the Seattle Thunderbolts. I'm pretty sure some of those minor league players are part of this team also in the Houston Open.
Yes, Munir, you're right on that. Harmeet Singh, Shadley Van Shawquick, playing with other teams in this tournament. But you're right on that. They're the defending champs of last year's minor league competition.
The stocks of those two players since that first edition of the minor league have gone up exponentially. Not as if they weren't high in the first place, but Harmeet Singh and Shadley Van Scatterwick are highly sought after now across these tournaments.
So the new batter comes to the middle, Hanchard Hamilton, I think it is. Yep. But he won't be on strike. The over would have completed at the final ball of that over. We saw the dismissal of Azim Charania. And you look at the card there, they're 2 down with 17 on the board. Unique Tigers under some bit of pressure with just a couple of overs completed, Munir.
And spin has been brought in from the 3rd over itself. It looks like this is Rishi Bhardwaj, but we'll have our scorers officially confirm it. Can tell from the bowling action. He's played a lot of first-class cricket in India, and he's been playing franchise cricket here. I'll have my foot in my mouth if it's if that's not Rishi Bhardwaj, as that's a dot ball. It in fact is.
So Bhardwaj given the ball, opportunity to bowl to left-handers, gets the ball to spin away. And he started pretty well with a couple of very good dot balls, very important in this form of competition, a 90 balls a side game.
And he drifts down the leg side on that occasion. The fielder from square leg is giving it a chase, and so does the fielder from 30 yards inside the circle. A good diving stop, and they come back for 2 runs.
Yeah, good shot here from Vivek Kanamuri. Just paddling that ball, helping it along the way. And so they're 2 down with 19 on the board. Dismissed batsman Azim Charania and Mark Parchment back in the shade. And as we made a point, the 2 opening bowlers each have picked up 1 wicket apiece so far.
He was really focused on his in-ring feel on the offside as Rishi comes in for another delivery. And the fielder at cover stops it. Happened to drift down the leg side on that previous delivery, but by the look of this field, it just looks like around the stumps, he's just looking to keep it tight. Just that line on middle and off.
Yeah, he's bowled well so far. 4 balls into the over, only conceded a couple of runs.
And again, that same, this time a little more flighted, putting doubts in the mind of the batsman.
And you look at Vivek Kanamuri, he looks to be more of a stroke player, looking for gaps, looking to push the ball in open spaces. And you look at his frame alone, probably want to tell you that he may not be. There we go, stroking the ball all along the ground. He seemed to be built in that bit of frame. The 3rd over comes to an end. It's 20 for 2.
So at the end of 3 overs in this contest between Unique Tigers and Seattle Thunderbolts, Seattle should be the happier of the 2 sides, having dismissed 2 batsmen. And it does look like Mahidhar is going to continue from the Forest end. Figures of 2 runs for 1 wicket in his very first over. He's going around the wicket to the left-handed Vivek. Here's Mahidhar. A little foolish, and the batsman was looking to flick it across the leg side. Only manages to get a top edge. A nice lobbed catch for mid-on. He gladly accepts it. And that's another wicket down. 3 and 3 now.
Yeah, another wicket falls here. Vivek is gone. And I made the point, Munir, he doesn't seem to be a hitter of the ball. And once he gets out of the comfort zone of not stroking the ball around, trouble happens. Exactly, and Mahidhar Mulapudi continues to bowl well. And now he has gone better than Avdesh. He has picked up 2. And all of a sudden, Unique Tiger find themselves in an uncomfortable position, batting at 20 for 3.
There you have it, Vivek. He was really getting stuck. 4 runs of 11 deliveries. Didn't really help the cause of his team. If you look at recent times, Lenny, and I'm going to go on a limb here, but franchises like CSK or even England, who won the recent T20 World Cup in October, the template, the baseball template they're going with is you just go and express yourself. There's no role for a sheet anchor or somebody to hold one hand. And especially in a 15-over contest, you just got to get a move on.
Yes, Munir, you're right on that. Players will have to back themselves to really get going or get out. So number 17 comes to the middle. They're batting here 20 for 3. We'll have to pick up the new batter.
As you're seeing on your screens, the prestigious DAFA News, who are the sponsors for the Houston Open 2023. It takes a village to run a tournament like this. I'm looking at several sponsors on the boundary markers in front of us. Modular Equipment, Vitality, Samp Army franchise, UMMC, and of course Prairie View Cricket Complex, playing host to this third edition of DAFA News Houston Open 2023.
Yes, Munir, third edition. 2021 would have seen Nepali Rhinos winning. And last year we saw UMMC. So the new batter comes to the middle, and pardon us if we can't pick up the name of the new batters out in the middle. And I'll tell you honestly what has happened. We were given a number 17. We were not giving a number 17, and his shirt says a number 17. So our official scorer has had to run to the player's dugout, and he's running back with that information. So pardon us for that.
This one, back of length, that perfect line and length. If you want to put a coin on the pitch and tell your bowler where to bowl, that's really the spot. Top of off stump, new batsman facing his first ball. In fact, there are two new batsmen. Wickets falling in succession.
So Abbas Saeed has come to the middle. He's faced a couple of balls, so we're back on track. And the two batters out in the middle, relatively new, Hamilton at the non-strikers end and Abbas Saeed.
And that one's nicely played off the back foot, and it pierces that in-ring gap. But there wasn't a lot of follow-through on that stroke, so there's not much momentum on that ball to carry to the fence. So the batsmen scamper through for 2 runs. And a quick shout out to our scorer, Jazib Memon, who's been running back and forth.
Yeah, he's done a tremendous job, especially the little challenges we've had. No number 17 was given to the scorer. And out comes a man with shirt number 17.
And this one on his pads, nicely flicked, but that could have been the curtains. If there was a direct hit, I think he was found wanting on that occasion, Lenny.
Yeah, it would have been a very tight one. The umpires here, of course, will have to call it what they see. No benefit of going upstairs. There's no upstairs here at all. I wonder where is upstairs here.
Only on the scaffold where the cameras are. That's the only upstairs I can tell from where we are sitting.
So 3 runs in this over so far. Mahidar Mulapudi has bowled exceptionally well. And you look at the card, he's bowling a 2 for 5. Impressive showing from this man. And we'll come into bowl to Hanchard Hamilton, who comes out at number 4 today.
And that's nicely punched off the back foot. Mid-off comes across. What a spell it's been from Mahidar. 2 overs, 5 runs and 2 wickets. At the end of 4 overs, Unique Tigers are crawling at 23 for 3. We're back live in over number 5 of the second fixture of the day. Remind you, it's again a 15 over contest, given that we lost the entire day yesterday. The typical Houston weather, as unpredictable as it gets. 115-degree heat index in the morning, and Prairie View received 2 inches of rain overnight. But here we are, back with some beautiful cricket as the next over resumes. Rahul is the new bowler, and the batsman has a swing at it. Gets a big outside edge. Third man is converging on the ball and keeps it down to just 2 runs. Good result in the end.
Yeah, a couple of runs there for Abbas Saeed. Rahul Nama has been given the ball. And he replaces Rishi Bhardwaj, who has really done nothing wrong by bowling an over that only conceded 3.
And look at that one, big turn on that delivery. We haven't seen turn of that stature. Looked like it turned quite a bit. Let's look at the replay.
Yeah, this one pitched and turned, and an excellent catch there from Moody. And another wicket fall. And all of a sudden, Unique Tigers, they're batting at 25 for 4. Abbas Saeed is gone. And straight away, Rahul Nama in his second ball. Getting a perfect leg spinner delivery, Munir. It pitched, it bounced a little bit, it turned. And the batsman looking to probably play on the onside. Ball taking a bit of edge. Moody is very reliable behind the stumps. Takes a good catch.
Yeah, and looking at the replay, I'll project that again on our screen. It didn't seem to turn square, but the bounce was what did him, and that take from Prajit on second attempt. But we said that towards the start of the innings, that he's a great wicketkeeper, and the players who have played a lot of their cricket in the subcontinent growing up, they're used to turning tracks, so this should be easy pickings for somebody like Prajit. And interestingly, also, although this is the second game of the day, you can't just say that the wicket is starting to break. If you put revs on the ball, you're going to get perches, but it's still a very hard wicket. There's no cracks on it from what we have seen. So just the credit goes to Rahul.
Arania comes to the middle with a lot of work to be done here. 64 balls remaining, but more importantly, they have lost 4 wickets of the 10 wickets resources available to them. And they're in a bad position here, 25 for 4.
This one is nice and full. Some confidence from Sahil. Nicely drives it. The power play is so crucial in these 15 overs. And the Unique Tigers are really on the back foot. And again, that same kind of turn and bounce. Slip takes an easy catch. Let's look at this replay. Let's see if he gets a lot of perches off the wicket. Lenny?
Yeah, similar dismissal, and look at that. May have deflected to somebody else, but in the end, an excellent catch, excellent judge catch, very easy one, and another wicket falls. It's 25 for 5. So Everoy Dyer comes to the middle. A big swing and a miss. So a couple of strikes in this over off the bowling of Rahul Nama. Impressive bowling figure so far. Munir is bowled. He's picked up two, just giving away 2 runs. And the big Everoy Dyer, the fast bowler. He comes in here batting at, number 7? With 5 down for 25 on the board.
I wonder if he's on a hat trick, Lenny. 2 back-to-back wides now. They've been taking wickets for fun. Really denting the unique Tigers or the Seattle Thunderbolt bowlers. And again, that bounce. Very interesting from Rahul. He has that high arm action. Is putting a lot of revs on the ball. And that's why you're seeing that bounce from him. And good captaincy to also have that slip in position. Final ball of the over coming up, and the batsman lets it go. At the end of 5, believe it or not, it's 27 for 5. So we're back live, and what was a mixed bag of a power play. 5 wickets for the Seattle Thunderbolts and only 27 runs conceded as far as the unique Tigers are concerned. We're into the tail now, officially.
Yes, Munir, we have seen a very excellent bowling spell from Rahul Nama, 2 for 4. And not forgetting Mahidar, who pulled in a couple of wickets too, with just conceding 5 as Matthew Trump given the ball.
A nice start from Matthew Trump. Has a very interesting hop in his action, as there was a throw on the non-striker end. Just excitement out in that appeal. Batsman was through for a single.
It's a couple of brothers in the tournament. Matthew Trump, he's also joined by Joshua Trump, who's also part of the DAFA News 2023 Houston Cricket Open. And as well and truly on, we saw a disappointing day yesterday, no play. A lot of rain in this area, but we're back on track and hence doing 15 overs aside to catch up on some lost time. Tomorrow we'll see another round, and then of course we get into the knockout stage in the afternoon games. So much to play for in the next couple of rounds.
And this one, again, that wonderful length, just back of length. The batsman was just fetching outside the off stump, had no idea where the ball went.
And from time to time, we would have seen some big knocks from Everoy Dyer. Very well-built man. And he can hit the ball hard. He's the fast bowler of the team, but like you made mention, certainly not expected to come and bat with 28 runs on the board. But he can strike a few. Matthew Trump comes in.
Again, I think that one was just on top of the stumps. Matthew Trump has locked in that very good length, just back of length, hovering around the top of the off stump.
Yeah, this has been a very good start from him. We've only seen 1 run in the over so far. Unique Tigers would have lost their opening game 180 to 146. They would have lost to Clarion Eagles, one of the team that is topping the table in this group.
And again, that corridor. But this time, he just misses his length ever so slightly. In fact, line ever so slightly, and it's a wide outside the off stump. Coming to the topic of the Trump brothers, Lenny, I cannot think of a pairing of brothers who are such a like-for-like replacement in terms of the skill set. Whether you think of the Pandyas of late, the Wars, the Flowers, The Troms are absolutely identical. Both medium pacers, both good, powerful middle order batsmen. As this one is short and it's hit up in the air and it goes the distance. Just as was applauding them, he misses his length, and that goes for a long hawk and a 6.
Yeah, consolation boundary here for the Unique Tigers off the bat of Everoy Dyer. A ball that is short. We saw Matthew Trump so far getting the ball to hang outside the off stump. This one short, allowing Everoy Dyer a chance to free his arm, and free his arms he did. Picked up 6, 35 for 5.
Matthew runs in again from the forest end. And this one is also slightly short, but it's also skied up in the air, but the fielders, and he overruns it, unfortunately. That's hard luck for young Matthew.
Yeah, ball lofted over the offside. Everoy Dyer picks up another boundary. And so 10 in 2 balls. This has been one of their better overs from the batting team. Unique Tigers, they're 12 off this over. And more importantly, they haven't lost a wicket so far.
It does look like the fielder has done some damage to himself in this excruciating heat when you're trying to gain speed and run at a notch and you have to stop and turn around. Oftentimes the hamstrings and the groins undo you. So he limps back to long on. Hopefully he's doing okay.
Yeah, and for our viewers, you want to know how hot it is. Real field probably 103, 105 here, Munir, but I heard on the opening day on Wednesday, it was touching what, 110 maybe?
Yeah, this is good Texas weather from what we are used to. Pleasant day here in Prairie View. Just a feeble 100. So back live in over number 7. Matthew Trom's first over went for 12.
So Rahul Nama with impressive bowling figures. 1 over no maiden, 2 for 4. Would have picked up the wicket of Sahil and also got the wicket of Abbas Saeed. So very impressive start to this man. Hanchard Hamilton will be the man on strike.
And there may have been a spell of 10 deliveries, Lenny, without a wicket in this inning so far.
And that has gone against a backdrop of losing 5 in the first 5 overs of the game.
This one drifts into the pads of Hanchard. He was looking to flick it off his pads for a single, misses out. Dot ball is the result. Nice and full this time. The variation, the arm ball fires it nice and quick. Another dot ball. Figures a 4 for 2 from his first over was Rahul. And this one is in the slot. The batsman is able to get under it and get that big arc going, and it's gone for a huge 6.
Yes, Munir, big strike here from Hanchard Hamilton. Take a look at this one into the zone. And that's a lovely pick-up and hit by Hanchard Hamilton. That gone for 6, 45 for 5. And speaking of some similar names in the tournament, we saw Jamar Hamilton, who would have played for the West Indies not too long ago. Here is Hanchard Hamilton. No relations at all. Hanchard, of course, would have represented the Atlanta Lightning in minor league cricket.
And this one is again that good line in length. Hanchard Hamilton rocks back onto the back foot. Hits high on the splice of the bat. They still get through for a single.
So what a difference this over's really come off here for Rahul Nama. Giving up 4 in his first over. This over's gone for 7 so far. We saw a big shot off the bat of Hanchard Hamilton a couple of deliveries ago. And that brings another big man, Everard Dyer, back on strike. We saw in the previous over, Dyer, a 6 and a 4 off the bowling of Matthew Trump. And so he will be on strike facing Rahul Nama. He's been quite impressive today, Nama.
This one is nicely worked off his pads, and they might be looking for a second. But Matthew Trump was awake to that and cuts it down to only a single.
So both teams will be itching to get points on the table, and one will. Both of them have lost their opening game. As in the case of the Thunderbolts, they've lost 2 matches so far. And Unique Tigers have only played 1, so this is their second game yet to put points on the table.
A little bit of width there, and it's nicely punched off the back foot. The over comes to an end. Good returns in the past couple of overs compared to the one-way traffic in the first 6. It's 48 for 5 after 7. Back live, we're picking up things in the 8th over. The field behind us, PV6, has been very loud. The fixture between UMMC Knight Riders and St. Louis Americans has been ongoing there. The score is 46 for 2 and 5.5 overs for Americans. Keep an eye out on those fixtures. It's going to be for the top of the table in Group A as the 8th over starts. A little bit of confusion, yes and no. No harm done. Matthew Trump is continuing, Lenny.
Yes, Munir, and just to support what you have just said about the other games. For our viewers, all the games are being streamed on YouTube. So if you go to the MLC network, and if you're seeing this game, you just drop down to the presenter of this YouTube channel, and then you'll find all the other games. And I'll tell you where you can also find some wealth of information.
And that one is a full toss, handsomely driven down the ground. The fielder at long off comes across and keeps it down to 1 run.
And just in case, Munir, for other viewers who want to be more detailed and you want all the score sheets of the game, you can go to PVCC Cricket Clubs. And you'll get all the results, all the game, all the fixture, all the point standing. Some of the information we may not be able to give you on live commentary. So if you want to do some work on the results and who is playing and the other fixture, go to PVCC Cricket Clubs. And that information is up there. 49 for 5.
A wild swing outside the off stump. Young Trump is just hitting his length. And great point, Lenny. Because we're getting into that business end of the tournament. The calculators would be coming out in the dugouts. It's a 15-team contest, and the top of the table is going to be a bottleneck come this evening.
Yeah, Munir, and you're right. Some of the tactics used by team, a lot of teams might be tied up on points. They will need to know what they need. They will need to know what needs to be done in their next fixture to really plot their route getting to the playoffs.
And again, that wild hoik from Everoy, wanting to take on the youngster. But Matthew Trump has kept that length. He hasn't been confused or hasn't been trying to mix up a lot of things. He's just stuck to his plan so far.
Yeah, we saw in the previous over, Everard Dyer was able to get 10 off 2 balls, a 6 and a 4 off the bowling of Matthew Trump. But we're beginning to see this 8th over has gone pretty well for Matthew Trump. 4 balls into this over, Everard Dyer and the other batter has only managed 1.
And this one is again driven down the ground, nice and full. We've been applauding the wicketkeeper. He's come up onto the stumps to avert Everard Dyer from coming down the track as the 50 comes up. So finally, they've knitted together a partnership and provided some sort of stability, something to bowl at for them.
Yeah, the 50 comes up in the 8th over. You get the feeling Munir with a 15 over game. They probably would have won that 50 to come up a little bit earlier. But Trump has bowled well.
And this one is back of length. The keeper, Prajit, has dropped back because Honchart Hamilton at least hasn't shown any intent of charging down the wicket. A wide ball signaled.
So we've got 43 balls remaining. This over has gone pretty well for Matthew Trump. Even if he will have to re-bowl a ball that could go for 6, and then we'll probably say, well, he has extended the over by 1, and look what has happened. But let's see. 3 runs in this over so far with that wide.
And again, this one is down the leg side. And the umpire is not going to let Matthew Trump get away with that one. Another wide, 2 back-to-back wides now.
Seems very phased with the left and right hand combination. We saw he bowled a very good line to the right-hander, Everoy Dyer. But now he has kept that same line. The fact is the batsmen have changed. And so what is right-hander bowling a good line has now become left-hander bowling down the leg side. Trump has gone for 2 wides.
And another one, and this one just perfectly set up. No respite there. We were applauding the good line and length, but he has erred on that occasion. And what I've been noticing on that replay, he's getting very wide of the crease, so that angle is always taking it down the leg side, and fine leg has been inside the circles, a free invitation there.
So the 8th over is gone. 58 for 5. Everoy Dyer and Honchart Hamilton out in the middle. 58 for 5. So Rishi Bardwaj comes back into the attack, and look at this. Swung away, and that's gone for a maximum.
Just dropped in that arc. Rishi, he'd want to keep out of that angle. The big swing is always on when you're bowling that line and length.
So big strike from Everoy Dyer. We've got 41 balls still to be bowled. They're batting a 64 for 5. You can see that on your screen. And the partnership between the pair has gone up to 39.
And again, this one is straight up in the air. It's going to be touch and go, and that was right in the lap. You shouldn't be dropping those catches. But as we see the replay come up on our screens, it was up in the air for a very long time, Lenny.
Yeah, he did everything to get around the ball. And should have held on, number 24.
Yeah, they've been pretty clinical in the field so far. Haven't missed anything yet.
So a chance goes a begging there. We'll have to wait and see if that comes back to haunt them. Off the bat of Everoy Dyer, he can strike the ball.
And this one was slightly back of length. Gets into the depth of the crease, and the way Honchart Hamilton is hitting the ball, and he has a liking for the off spinner. Rightly so, he gives the strike back to his partner.
So 41 run partnership. Wickets falling at 15, 17, 20, 25 and 25. But we've seen a good partnership here from Everoy Dyer and Hamilton.
Rightly so this time. He has moved his line of attack to slightly outside the off stump. Remains to be seen if Honchart Hamilton has that inside out shot Or he's still going to try and whip him towards the leg side as Rishi comes in again. Sizing him up. Cat and mouse game now between the bowler and batsman. Pulls out last minute.
So Every Dyer, the man on strike, he's struck a couple of sixes already on 1-4. This over's gone for 8 from Rishi Bharadwaj. And you look at the bowling run up here by Rishi Bharadwaj. Sunil Narain does a little bit of that. Munir trying to hide the ball. Perhaps not to allow the batter to see how he's holding the ball.
He's not happy with the umpire on that occasion. Obviously the line of attack. Rishi is a smart cricketer. And this one again. How quickly has he adjusted, Lenny? We said the first 2 balls. He bowled it right in that arc. Just dropped it nice and flighted a juicy half volley. And very quickly he knows that he has to keep out of that arc. So he's eyeing that wide line outside the off stump.
The fact is, Munir, Every Dyer would have been put down by the man out at long off.
And this one, he's unlucky. The plan was working. Every Dyer was looking to flick it to the leg side, a big edge. There was no slip. So they get a couple more runs. And as over number 9 comes to an end at 69 for 5. 9 overs gone. 69 for 5 in the second fixture of the day at the DAFA News Houston Open 2023. There's a change in the bowling. Matthew Tromp had bowled a couple of overs. Avdesh, who bowled 1 over for 15 runs and took a wicket, is back in the attack from the Forest end.
Yeah, he got a wicket of Mark Parchment, a ball that Mark Parchment played on. And so Avdesh Kumar gets a switch of ends, and he comes in at a point in which 36 balls remaining. 6-9 for 5. We've seen a partnership here between Hamilton and Dyer yielding 44 runs. So he comes down the track, can't score, and still 69 for 5. So we've got 35 balls still to be bowled. We've seen a very good knock from Hanchard Hamilton. You look on the card, he's on 17. Slower ball down the leg side will be called a wide. And so an additional ball to be bowled. A run is added to the scorecard. That's the way it works. 70 for 5.
A lot of bowlers, you'll see this trend as the ball is about 10 overs old to a left-hander. They straight away switch around the wicket. He's shown the bravery to still come at the same angle. Remains to be seen if that arc to mid-wicket cow corner opens up. But that's if you're bowling that wonderful back of length. Don't have to worry about that, like Avdesh did on that occasion.
Yeah, we saw in the last 4 or 5 balls into this game, bowlers have struggled to really keep the ball on the offside of Hanchard Hamilton. And what have resulted? We have seen 4 wides in the last 8 balls or so going down the leg side. There we go again. Could be another wide. Here we go. Yes, it is from umpire Aditya Gajar. And we made a point, Munir. Not only the cricketers have traveled to Texas to come be part of this tournament, even the umpires have traveled from far to come here. Aditya Gajar comes from the Atlanta region.
This is a panel of really good umpires in the country who have been officiating at a lot of these franchise tournaments, and Houston Open being one of them, as this is nicely played off the back foot. We're getting into that business end of the innings now. The death overs are just around the corner. As far as the Unique Tigers are concerned, Lenny, they would want these two to carry on for as long as possible. Get them to something respectable that they can bowl at.
We saw in the previous 15-over game 185 posted by one of the teams, Atlanta Fire. And you look here, is 72 for 5, 33 balls remaining. They may not get up to 184, I tell you that. As Avdesh Kumar has bowled a very good over so far.
And he loses his run-up on that occasion. I wonder if stress and fatigue is setting in now. Second back-to-back game for a lot of these teams. Still 100-degree heat.
So 47-run partnership between Everoy Dyer and Hanchard Hamilton.
And this one is nice and full right into the slot. That's not coming back.
53-run partnership.
50 up for these two. The partnership, that is.
So look at this. Everoy Dyer got very good meat on that one. And it's straight down the ground. That has gone for a maximum. Takes the score to 78 for 5. And like you mentioned, Munir brings up the 50 partnership. That has gone up to 53 between the pair out in the middle. Lovely strike from Everoy Dyer.
And a quick look at the batting scorecard. You'll see that besides these two, no one has been able to offer any kind of substantial resistance out in the middle. So a much welcome partnership. All single-digit scores besides these two.
Yeah, we saw brilliant bowling from Mahidar. 2 for 5, 2 for 13 from Rahul Nama. May have prevented them from really getting a goal.
Nice and full delivery. This could be tied if the bowler was able to collect it cleanly.
Yeah, good running here from Dyer and Hamilton. Unique Tigers, they're coming up against a very well put together squad, Seattle Thunderbolts. And Munir, when you look at what this tournament will foster, or part of the staging part of this tournament is to really get the players a chance to really get in form and get ready for minor league.
And this one is down the pads and beautifully flicked by Hanchard Hamilton. Great effort by that fielder there, but the ball just evades him. Fingertip stuff there. As over number 10 comes to a close, the score is 83 for 5. So coming back live, just final 5 overs to go. Unique Tigers would love to get anything between 50 plus runs, but that's subjective to these two being on the crease for as long as possible. And to the point you made, Lenny, about this tournament being crucial to the minor league preparation. This is also quite a precursor to the Major League, which is just knocking on our doors now, just 2 weeks away. So some of those players who are drafted, at least the local players, USA-based players, the Major League pros. This is a huge tournament for them too, as Dilpreet is the new bowler who comes into the attack, as this is played off the back foot. Just a single.
So Dilpreet Bajwa comes in here, 29 balls remaining. First 5 overs we saw went for 27. 10 overs we saw the score was 83. So big difference between the 2 5 overs period, Munir. The first 5 went for 27. The second 5 went for some 56 runs. And now we down to the last 5. Dilpreet Bajwa has been given the ball. Will come into bowl to Hanchard Hamilton. We have seen bowlers finding a bit of problem bowling to Hanchard Hamilton. There have been a lot of leg side bowling to Hanchard Hamilton. And he's batted well along with Everett Dyer. They have provided some bit of stability. They have posted 59-run partnership. At a time in which the scorecard at one time read 25 for 5. It's still 84. It is 84 for 5 still.
And the best part of this partnership, Lenny, is that they just haven't looked troubled whatsoever. This one is nicely punched off the back foot. The sweeper is slightly wide. There is an opportunity for the second, but that restricted to just one. Good work by that fielder at sweeper cover.
So the big Everett Dyer, who has struck 3 sixes already, 3 sixes and 1 4. And Dilpreet Bajwa will come into bowl to Everett Dyer. He's up on 29.
And that one's slightly short. The invitation was there. Very interestingly, there's a ring of 3 fielders behind square on the offside. That's rare to see. That just gives you an idea of the line of attack. And this one is hit down the ground again to that same fielder at cow corner or deep mid wicket. Single.
Yeah, not a very bad over here from Dilpreet Bajwa. He's bowling at a time in which both batters are looking to get a move on. And so far we've seen 4 balls into the over, only 3 runs. This has been very good stuff here from Dilpreet.
This one is slightly short. Had a lot of time to rock back and plays it with an angled bat. Heave to long on for just a single.
So we've got 25 balls still to be bowled. They're batting at 87 for 5. Dilpreet has conceded 4 in this over. And this one has gone pretty well here for Dilpreet. Final ball coming up.
Again, a faster one. Seemed like there was a little bit of drift on that ball. Pitched and just went straight on with the arm. At the end of 11, it's 87 for 5. Back live with over number 12. This partnership blossoming by the over. 62 of 38, as Lenny tells me. The problem for the Unique Tigers is the damage done preceding to this partnership was such that they're still chasing this game. They're still quite behind, given the kind of outfield we have, the size of the boundaries, the pitch is still a very good high scoring ground. As Avdesh, and this is played beautifully off the back foot, transfers his weight onto the back foot, rocks back and just heaves it over deep mid wicket. A 6.
So Rahul Nama comes back into the attack and treated by a lovely pull into the onside. Hanchard Hamilton, he goes up to 30. It's 93 for 5, and that partnership has gone up to 68 from 39 balls. So Rahul Nama bowling at 2 for 19 so far. We saw a very impressive over from him earlier on.
And a full toss. Luckily for the Seattle Thunderbolts, it goes straight to long off. He could have hit that anywhere, but it results in just a single.
We saw Rahul Nama bowling the 5th over. Was able to pick up a couple of wickets, but Munir, you get the feeling bowling in the 12th over, in which things are coming down to an end here with 22 balls remaining. You know the approach from the batter will be totally different from when he bowled over number 5.
And this one is skied up in the air. Cover is settling under it. Should be an easy catch, and in fact that's another catch that's been dropped. Not the first occasion we have seen that on.
Yeah, number 16 has put down another chance. So a couple of chances goes a begging here for the Seattle Thunderbolt.
You never looked comfortable under that ball. Didn't seem like it was swerving quite a lot. Those catches should be taken as Rahul continues. This one is a little short. Gives him ample time to rock back onto the back foot and play 2 covers. There's a sweeper. Matthew Tromp who does the cleanup. Just a single there.
So 20 balls remaining for the Unique Tigers. They won the toss, electing to bat. They were batting at 25 for 5. It's now 96 for 5. Essentially a 71-run partnership. Everroy Dyer on strike.
And this one is in the arc, and he finds the gap to perfection. Splits long on and deep cow corner, and that's a boundary. And the 100 comes up now. Given where they were at 5 wickets down, this is a serious rebuilding effort from these two, Lenny.
Very easy calculation. They were 25 for 5. They're 100 for 5 still. So essentially a 75-run partnership. Everroy Dyer going through the onside for 4. And this over's gone for 13.
And this one is punched off the back foot, and it's going all the way for another 6. They're turning it on. That's just what the doctor ordered for the Unique Tigers in these final few overs.
Yeah, a couple of big strikes here from Everroy Dyer. And look at that. Full toss and hammered down the ground. That's gone for a maximum. The over comes to an end. 12 gone. It's 106 for 5.
So Lenny, there's at least some interest that's been aroused in this game. It's not one-way traffic anymore. 106 in 13 is respectable. Still not par, maybe.
Yeah, they've got 18 balls, and we have seen in T20 cricket at the top level, 18 balls could yield you some 50 runs at times, some 40 runs. You never know. So Dilpreet Bajwa will bowl the 13th. Will come into bowl to Hanchard Hamilton.
And this is nicely struck off the back foot. Sweeper comes across, and that's just a single.
So this partnership has gone up to 82 between the pair out in the middle. It comes off 45 balls. Everroy Dyer contributing 45 and 37 to Hanchard Hamilton.
It's not just rebuilding, Lenny. It's also counter-attack. Maybe they took a couple of overs to get a sider as Dilpreet comes in, and this is fired down the leg side. Luckily for Dilpreet, Prajit Moody is ever so athletic. Saves the boundary there. Could have been 5 wides.
Yeah, I made mention the benefit of having a top-class wicketkeeper. He's top class. It does some bit of cleaning up when the bowler has really erred. We just saw that. You're right on that. That would have gone for 5 wides. Dilpreet Bajwa has gone for a couple of runs in this over. 108 for 5. You can see that.
Another wide. He's going around the stumps. Obviously, the plan is to keep it away from that arc. 2 back-to-back wides. Dilpreet needs to come back strong. And another, that quicker one. We were always talking about that kind of a ball. The bounce undid Prajit, and it goes for 4 byes this time.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how they come. A boundary is added to the card. It comes in the byes column. But when you're looking for runs, Munir, those are productive plays. Has nothing to do with if the batsman has touched it or not. It's 114 on the board.
Something to bowl at, just to spice things up a little bit in this contest.
They're going over 9 runs an over. We have seen an over has gone for 8 so far.
This was very short, had a lot of time. But luckily for Dilpreet, just a single comes off it.
So Everai Daya comes back into strike. It's 115 on the board. That partnership has gone to a mammoth 90 runs so far. We saw the 5th wicket falling in the 5th over when Rahul Nama struck a couple of times.
And this is very short. And he's got the distance on it. Kyron Pollard-like. Just a flick of the wrist. Almost chips it over the boundary. Lenny.
So 121 on the board. Everai Daya. Good strike from this man. And when you look at that hit just now, Munir, it doesn't look like he timed it all that well. But good enough for it to go for a maximum.
And there was no bat swing whatsoever. Just waited for the ball and chipped it. Just wrist work. Shows you the power of the man. As Dilpreet comes again. And he's bowled that delivery quite a few times.
So
Quicker ones.
15 runs off this over so far. This has gone pretty well here for Unique Tigers. And their battle Seattle Thunderbolts.
And this one again was in that arc. Luckily for him, he gets an inside edge. The chase is on. Seems like it's Rishi Bhardwaj who comes through. Keeps it down to a couple. They'll take what comes their way. At the end of 13, it's 123 for 5. We're back live. It's the very business end of this innings, as you see on your screen. DAFA News, the proud sponsors of the Houston Open 2023. What a partnership this has been. They're approaching 100 runs, just 2 runs shy of 100 partnership. And given the context when they walked out, 25 for 5, Lenny.
Yes, Munir, a 98-run partnership. It came off 50 balls. Hanchard contributing 43. Everai Daya 55.
And Evra is also just 1 run short of his 50. What a well-deserved innings this would be.
And viewers and listeners might be wondering, how can Everai Daya contribute for 55 but he's not made a 50 yet? The way partnership counts, if you're facing a ball that has gone for extras, it goes against you in the partnership. So that is why when you look at the stats, it shows that Everai Daya has contributed 55, but he's up on only on 49. Where is that 6 runs? Well, that 6 runs would have been during the course when he faced the wides or any no ball accrued when he was the striking batsman.
And this one is nice and full, hit down the ground.
Look like Mahidar.
That was a very informative insight, Lenny.
So 125 for 5, still 5. And we come down to the last 10 balls. The partnership, by the way, goes up to exactly 100 between Hanchard Hamilton and Everai Daya. Everai Daya has gone up to a 50. And so these boys have really batted well. It came at a very good time. Couple of milestones there. A milestone for Everai Daya and, of course, the partnership.
And this one is fullish on his pads. toe ends it. He would feel like he missed out on it. There was a lot of real estate on the leg side to place that ball into, but it results only in a single. That's the 100 partnership up between these two. And that's also the 50 for Evroy Dyer, scoring exactly half of that partnership. And it's come up at quite a notch. 29 deliveries for that 50. This is nice and full, and unfortunately picks up that lone fielder on that offside boundary there. Only a single.
So they're going at 9.2 and over. We still got 8 balls remaining. Big partnership out in the middle. Hamilton and Evroy Dyer has played a very good hand. They're well set. And the pressure is on Seattle Thunderbolts. We've got 8 balls remaining, and nothing beats momentum when you finish your innings. And for you to go in and come out back, Munir.
And he comes down the track, and this is chipped in the air. And no one's fetching that. That's gone a long way. The power, the timing, the poise.
Very deceptive here from Evroy Dyer. Look at that. With all the effortless stroke, and it's gone for a maximum. It's 132 for 5. Big strike from Evroy Dyer. This over's gone for 9.
On a couple of occasions recently, he's taken us by surprise. Just that recoil of his wrist. The way he's timing the ball now, he's seeing it like a football.
And the fact is, Munir, Evroy Dyer is just getting warmed up. I'm pretty sure he'll be given the first over. He bowls relatively quick. 9 runs in this over so far.
He would feel he missed out on that one. Was again in the slot for him to unlock those wrists. But that's just a leg by and a single.
So the 14th over comes to a close. It's 133 for 5. So 6 balls remaining. And a big partnership here. 133 for 5.
And this one is hit down the ground. The fielder at long off comes through and cuts it off. Just a single. So that brings over number 14 to a close. It's 134 for 5. Well-deserved hydration for these two batsmen. The heat is still relentless out there, and given these are two important bowlers, quicks for the unique Tigers, they have a role to play when they come out to defend this total. The bowlers having to do all the work with the bat and the ball now, Lenny.
Yes, Munir, it feels like 105 at the moment. Thankfully, we were in the shade. Probably we're 5 degrees less, or maybe. I wonder, did you guys in the last couple of weeks had a haze that came over from Canada with the wildfire there?
We didn't, but the weather has been fluctuating in Houston on and off. We've had some spells of rain, but then the rain is followed by a spell of heat and humidity. As this one is on his pads, that's easy pickings. No problem flicking that with the angle, and it goes for 4.
Yeah, that's a good start to the 15th over off the bat of Hanchard Hamilton. Picks up another boundary. We've got 5 balls remaining. And look, they're going at 9.7 and over. It's 138 for 5.
Yeah, young Matthew Tromp will have to adjust his length and line there. Length was good. I think he wants to be full and straight, but cannot afford to drift onto the pad, especially when that fine leg is inside the circle, Lenny.
So it's a 113-run partnership. We'll probably go home tonight and try to look back at some of the big partnerships, and this one has to be one of the top ones. 113 put on by Evroy Dyer and Hanchard Hamilton. Trump continues.
And this one is almost in the arc, but inside edges onto his pad. So a dot ball. Trump is going to be happy with that.
We saw already Evroy Dyer getting a half century, and now with 4 balls remaining, Hanchard Hamilton, he's on strike. You never know what he can do with 4 balls. But he will love that he can get a half century built on the fact that they've put on 113. And the fact is, they've posted 138 for the team. And it all comes down to the next 4 balls. Here is Trump.
Some pace there. Trump hitting the deck. Quite brave from the youngster, because point is inside the circle, third man is inside the circle. Any kind of bat on that, and that was an easy boundary. Remains to be seen if they can somehow get to 150, that psychological advantage of a required rate of 10 runs per over.
If you're bowling the last over of a 15-over match with 2 set batsmen and you get a couple of dot balls, you're bowling well. Here he is.
And this one again cramps him. Very nicely pinged off his bat, but it's only going to be a single. So the score ticks along to 139 for 5.
And the fact is, Munir, there's no relief here for Matthew Trump. He comes into bowl to Evroy Dyer. And Evroy Dyer already a 50 for him. 6 sixes and 2 fours, and he'll be hitting with the wind. So it's going to be interesting here. 2 balls remaining. Evroy Dyer on strike.
3 fielders have dropped into that cow corner arc. There's a long on, there's a deep mid wicket, and there's a squarish mid wicket. And the only fielder inside the circle on the leg side is a square leg. So even if he drifts down the pad, it's an easy boundary. Let's see what Trump comes up with. Wide outside the off stump. He saw him coming.
So 19 extras so far. 4 byes, 1 leg byes, and 4 wides totaling 14. So 19 extras so far. 140 for 5.
150 is still on. Needs a 6 and a 4. I'm sure Matthew Trump has other plans as he runs in again from the Highway 290 end. And that's a huge wide. Almost landed outside the pitch. Obviously that arc, the recoil of the wrist, is playing through the mind of the youngsters. He's trying to stay away from it.
Yeah, he wants Evroy Dyer to probably reach for a ball outside the off stump and still maintain that line. But he has erred on a couple of occasions, couple of unfair deliveries. And still a couple of balls remaining. Evroy Dyer on strike.
And this time again, he eyes that same arc and it takes the outside edge and runs away for 4. Unlucky for Matthew Trump. He has a plan. He's trying to execute it. But it's been one-way traffic for these two in the last 10 overs or so.
Yeah, the line. We saw that he's trying to bowl full and wide. And Evroy Dyer just swinging his bat at this stage of the game. You see that so often. Doesn't matter how they come or where the ball goes. It's gone for 4. 11 off the silver. Final ball coming up. This is a very good score. 145. Irrespective of what happens here, they'll be chasing 10 runs and over.
Last ball of the innings coming up. And a wild swing doesn't make any connection. So that psychological advantage of 150 is not there to be had. But 145, given they were 25 for 5, a partnership, an unbroken partnership of 120 runs between these two.
Yeah, Evroy Dyer finishes with 60. Hanchard Hamilton finishes with 42. We'll take a look at his scorecard. There we go. We saw early success for the Seattle Thunderbolts. But look at Hanchard Hamilton on 46. He comes out not out. And Evroy Dyer, the main man, he got 60 not out. A big partnership between the pair. And there we go, 145, 45 at the end of their 15.
The bowling from the Seattle Thunderbolts was on the money. They would be pretty happy with this effort, especially the new ball bowlers and the way they bowl in the power play. You would see the flurry of wickets in the first 5 overs or so. 15, 17, 20, 25, 25. And there was no wicket right after that. 2 wickets for Mahidhar Mullapudi and 2 wickets for Rahul Nama. Avdesh Kumar with a wicket. And Mahidhar Mullapudi also with an economy rate of 5 runs per over. But then from there onwards, Rahul Nama, Matthew Tromp, and Dilpreet Bajwa had to face the likes of these two batsmen who compiled a 100-run partnership. They all went for in excess of 10 runs per over. So at the end of 15, 145 for 5 with a required rate of 9.7 runs per over, the Seattle Thunderbolts would be chasing 146 runs. And we are going to be right back after a 10-minute break with the chase of the Seattle Thunderbolts. Right, so we are back live from Prairie View Cricket Complex on the second official day of the DAFA News Houston Open, as that first ball from Sahil is nicely played by Israr off the front foot, and they get through for a single. With me, like always, we have my experienced colleague, Mr. Leonard Achabar. Did I slaughter that, Glenn?
Nah, you've done well at Chai Bar. And so we're off to another inning here. Thank you, Mr. Munir. And our experienced scorer who's done tremendous work in getting us all the information and the players. Not an easy task. Ball sliced down the leg side. He eludes the keeper, and that has gone away for a boundary. 5 wides. And so it doesn't matter how they come, Munir, 6 on the board so far.
Like we said in the first inning, really important to use that new ball. These white balls shine after only a couple of overs, such as the nature of the beast, which is T20 cricket. So while it lost, I have to make it count. Cannot bowl them down the leg side. Got to hit those channels. You only have about 15 to 18 deliveries where that ball is going to assist your seamers.
Yeah, you're right on that. We've seen a start here from Sahil. I'm pretty sure Everett Dyer could be the other bowler.
This one also, after the wide down the leg side that went for 5 byes.
Well,
On this occasion, the keeper actually dives across and saves the additional byes, but that's another wide. So 2 back-to-back wides. Spraying it early on is Sahil.
Well, essentially, officially, he's only bowled 1 ball in the over, and he's given up 7.
And that's the spot. That's the line and length he wants to hit. Like we were saying, make use of that new ball. There's a slip in place. There's a gully. Make it count. In fact, that gully is dropping back to the edge of the circle like a backward point. There's a third man.
So Sahil has given up 7 in the over so far, but he looks like a bowler who swings the ball.
And again, not able to control that swing. Wide outside the off stump. Seems like he's naturally shaping it away from the right-hander. And isn't very quick, which you can tell from the fact that the entire fine leg boundary is not being patrolled by any fielder. Only outfielder on the leg side is right behind the umpire.
So we've seen quite a few extras in this over. The score is 8 on the board. And Munir, the most important thing in 105 degrees temperature, as a fast bowler, you want every ball that you run up to be counted. And we've seen Sahil Chanaria has to run 3 additional time before this over comes to a close.
And
Yeah, you've run up quite a few times. And this is not the condition, certainly not the weather, to be wasting that fast bowling energy.
And again, that exaggerated movement, but with that also he loses control. Another wide. 9 now.
Now what essentially that has done, that has not only added runs here for the Thunderbolts, but it has pushed the game a little bit beyond the stipulated time if the umpires are keeping count on that.
And this one is cracked off the back foot. What a shot that is. The invitation for the square cut was there. With the swing, lot of room, and the batsman frees his arms, Lenny, as the replay comes on your screens.
It's a lovely shot off the bat of Dilpreet Bhatia. Look at that. Given some bit of width and cracked away over the offside. This is a very fast outfield. It has always been. And it's 13 on the board. And for viewers watching this match in particular, you're watching at the championship pitch. This will be the pitch that will play the all-important championship game come Sunday afternoon.
And remains to be seen if the umpire lets this one go. No, he doesn't. Again, that exaggerated swing. We talked about that new ball and the swing for the first 2 or 3 overs that could be on offer. The more extra deliveries you're bowling, you're losing that incentive, Lenny.
So Sahil Charania has run up 10 times and delivered a ball, Munir.
And this over ends with 14 runs for no loss for Seattle Thunderbolts. We're back live now in the second over of this chase. Seattle Thunderbolts are looking to chase down 145, the target of 146. The first over, as my esteemed colleague Lenny pointed out, 11 deliveries in that first over, 5 wides, yielded 14 runs. Now it seems the second over is going to be bowled by left-arm orthodox of Azim. Or maybe he's right-arm off-spin. Only time will tell. Taut and wide. Again, lot of room. Batsman would be disappointed not having capitalized on that delivery.
So Ul Haq has watched so much cricket in the first over. As Munir would have mentioned, we saw Sahil ran up 11 times and conceded 14 runs in that over. And normally, by the rules of the game, you're only allowed to really bowl 6 legal balls.
And this one fired through a little quicker in the air. Seems like there was some drift into the batsman, and then it pitched and turned away. Good signs for Azim.
And we were wondering in the com box. We saw Sahil Charania bowl the first over. Now we're seeing Azim Charania bowling the second over. Wondering if they're related.
And this one is a little short. Gives him too much time to rock back onto the back foot. Well done by mid-off, coming through and cutting out that boundary. Keeps it down to 1.
And Munir, we're wondering that because of the name Charania. Not really a popular one like Patel or Ahmed. Not every Ahmed could be related because there's so many of them right in this tournament. And then, of course, the Patel.
The most dominant lineage in US cricket must be Patel and Ahmed's, like my friend Lenny pointed out. This one is nicely played with the turn. The fielder gives it a chase, and that's a good stop from him, and a good throw comes in as well. Keeps it down to 2.
Yeah, should have been a boundary there, but good bit of fielding there from that fielder. Saved a couple of runs, 17 on the board.
What's very interesting is there's a very, very straight long on right by the side screen, and there's a deep cow corner. Tells me that he bowls or prefers to bowl arm balls into the right-hander, but everything has been turning away, and so a slip has been brought in. Dot ball there.
Yeah, not a bad start here from Azim. He's only given up 3. He's bowled way better than Sahil from the first over.
And again, that one was fired through. The keeper couldn't collect it, but luckily there was a slip in position like I pointed out on the last delivery, so keeps it down to a dot ball. Over number 2 comes to an end. It's 17 for no loss. So back live and over number 3 of the Seattle Thunderbolts chase. "17 for no loss." It's been a steady start, aided by all the extras and white balls in the first over, but it was a pretty tight second over by Azim, the left-arm orthodox. Over number 3 from the Forest end. Nicely flicked off his hips for a single to deep square leg. Everroy Dyer is in the attack.
Yeah, Everroy Dyer has had a very good time with the bat. We saw posting 120 with Hanchard Hamilton. He got some 69, I think it is. And so he has been given the ball, some short over spells. We've seen that during the course of the Atlanta Fire innings and game. And so 128 to win from 77 balls.
And this is short of length. The batsman gets a lot of time to rock back and pull this for a massive 6 against the run of play. Pacey delivery. And he had ample time there, like you see, Lenny, on your screen.
Shot from Dilpreet Bajwa. He's a classy player, likes to stroke the ball around. And of course, if you bowl him too short, as we saw Everroy Dyer did, he has the ability to really take on the fast bowler. A lovely shot. 7 in this over so far.
Everroy goes slightly fuller, back to basics, that length just outside off, top of off stump, all day long. A single 2 point.
And the key here for Seattle Thunderbolts, they will have to keep within touching distance of an asking rate that is about 9. They're going at 10, exactly 10 and over. So they've really built up the opportunity to really get to that required run rate.
And this is again short, giving him that opportunity to rock back onto the back foot. This is a straightish pull, and it again goes for a 6.
Yeah, that's a lovely shot from Ulhak. Timed it well. And Everroy Dyer has gone for 14 in this over. We saw when he batted, he got 60, but batsmen are beginning to take some action against him. And his payback time is 31 on the board.
Yeah, given that we've discussed this a couple of times during the first innings too, and at the start of this innings, 145 might be just under par. Every run is going to count. They have to be really miserly with the way they bowl, execute all their plans. As Everroy comes in again, and this is slightly short. He has a wild swing at it. The fielder is going to get across and keep it down to just 2 runs.
Yeah, good approach here from Ulhak. And Dilpreet Bajwa saw the ball outside the off stumps. Just getting a good slice on that one. And they pick up a couple of runs. This over's gone not too well here for Everroy Dyer. He's conceded 16 runs in this over. We're still a ball remaining, so 33 for no loss. Good start here from the Thunderbolts.
And this is again handsomely driven inside out. What a shot that is. The batsmen are going to come back for second. To be honest, I thought this was going to race to the boundary, but it looked like it hit the bottom, almost the toe end of the bat. So the over comes to a close at the end of 3. It's 35 for no loss. So we're back live. It's been a good start for the Seattle Thunderbolts. 35 of 3 overs. A lot of extras in there, but besides that, there has been some sparkling stroke play. They've shown a liking for the seamers. Both of them looked really good off the back foot. cross-batted shots have come out, Lenny.
Yes, Munir, you made a very good point. Between the two fast bowlers, they're giving up 33 runs. We saw an over from Sahil went for 14, and we saw one from Everroy Dyer went for 18. So that's 32 between the two fast bowler. We saw a very quality over from Azim.
And this one is dispatched off his presence off the back foot. I made this point, Lenny, in the previous over. There's been a very straightish long on and there's a deep mid wicket, but he's bowled everything turning away outside the off stump. I wonder by the way he's bowling, he might be better off having a sweeper, having more protection on the offside, because that's what he has bowled. I haven't seen him bowl anything in the arc on the pads.
Well, Munir, if you're a spinner, if you're bowling to a batsman, you should never allow the batter to get a chance to play off the back foot. There's so many shots in the back, but you want him to come on the front foot. And if he drives the ball through the offside and he goes away for 4, you want him there. Let him hit you on the front foot. We saw this ball from Azim Charania. A very short ball. Now that signal has been cancelled from 4 to 6. So even worse here for this bowler. This one has gone for 6. 41 for no loss.
Wow, back foot punch of a spinner for 6 over cover. This one is again, just like you said, Lenny, so much time on the back foot.
If you're playing off the back foot and punching a spinner, he's bowling too short.
If he bisects that in-ring field even half the time, you're going for 12 runs and over. And that one was slightly foolish. That's a better plan.
And credit to the batters out in the middle. They got off to a very good start. There's 41 on the board. They're going at 11.7 and over. The required rate is just about 9 at the moment.
And see, there you go again. Like we've been saying repeatedly, he hasn't bowled anything full enough for those outfielders on long on and deep mid wicket. Everything is short and wide outside the off stump. Of course, you cannot set fields for bad deliveries, but so has been the kind of bowling done here in the last couple of deliveries by Azim.
Yes, Munir, you can set field for short bowling, yes, and you cannot set field for when a batsman hits you for 6. It takes the fielding out of the equation because the ball has gone over the playing area. But he's bowling too short, Azim. He's given up 6, and both of these have been offside punch, where the batter has so much time to really play the ball.
Now this goes to short third man, and there's a slight misfield, but common sense prevails. Never run off a misfield. But that change I had been talking about, Lenny, that's just been made. The mid wicket comes inside and the sweeper drops back. Some protection there for Azim.
Mind you, Munir, they're still into the power plays. So a couple of fielders outside of the 30 yards, and they're both on the offside. Oh, in fact, no, there's one on the onside, but this one is worked into the onside, and they scamper through. Good running here. And that will complete over number 4. So after 4, the asking rate when they came out was 9 something. They're doing way better than that. 4 of us gone, 48 without loss.
Over number 5 to resume. Meanwhile, we'll bring you a quick update from Prairie View 6, the game between St. Louis Americans and UMMC Knight Riders. Americans batting first and scoring a mere 116 in their 15 overs. And the established, fearsome opening partnership of Jaskaran Malhotra and Nauman Anwar have notched 51 runs in just 3.5 overs for no loss. Those two haven't been dismissed in this tournament so far, mind you. as over number 5 resumes. Prasad is the new bowler, another left-arm orthodox.
So Prasad Patil given the ball 48 for none. They're going at 12 and over. Still, they require 8. So they've done a lot of work in the earlier stages of this game. Final over that will close out the power play, Munir.
Nice line and length there. Good understanding between the batsmen. Just an eye contact and they were off for the single.
Yeah, Dilpreet Bajwa looks to be a quality player. He knows what is needed. He's using the conditions here to just tap the ball around. And when the big shot certainly comes out, he does have a couple to play. And they're up to 49, approaching a 50, 49 for no loss.
And this one was that perfect left-armer's delivery, pitching just in line with the stumps and turning away. An edge there. Short third man does the cleanup.
And Munira, I meant to ask you, there seems to be a lot of turn and purchase out in the middle. We saw every time the left-arm spinners bowl, they've been getting a lot of turn and bounce.
Yeah, good point, Lenny. We'll come to it after this ball as he tries to charge down. Gave it away a little too soon. The bowler had time to make that adjustment and fire it flat into his pads. So at the point of the pitch, I think I've been saying since Wednesday, it's just a perfect wicket for T20 cricket. It's got something in it for everyone. If you're a fast bowler, you're willing to hit the deck, it's going to give you nice carry. And that's again that beautiful angle, inviting him on that big booming drive. And although you would think, like I pointed out earlier, it's a very brown, dry surface, but if you go in, you wouldn't find any dead grass. There's clippings on there, but it's all green, alive grass. They've been doing a great job rolling this wicket. This one is short and hit up in the air. The fielder is getting across and he takes the catch. Good running catch. He runs about 30 meters to get to that catch. As this replay comes on your screens, Lenny.
Yeah, short ball, going to hammer it into the onside, looking for a big shot. And Ul Haq perishes. That's a good running catch from the fielder. And so the first wicket goes down. Ul Haq is gone. It's 49 for 1.
So Unique Tigers finally have a breakthrough. Just inside the power play, the 5th over is coming to a close. Just before that wicket fell, we were also talking about the state of this pitch. And what an excellent T20 wicket it's been. Lightning fast outfields, the ball coming onto the bat. Yet it's not really a batting paradise. There's some turn on offer for spinners who are looking to give the ball a decent rip. There's good bounce and carry for fast bowlers who are looking to hit the deck. But the batsmen who are brave and looking to be positive can score runs on this pitch as well. As Prasad continues to the new batsman Shreyas. The over comes to a close. 1 run off that over and a wicket. So great stuff from Prasad. 49 for 1 in 5. And Lenny, you're discussing about the pitch before the wicket fell. The other thing that we need to point out is the fact that because of the reduced duration of these games, 15 overs, the ground staff is not rolling the pitch between innings. Oftentimes that gives the pitch a little more time to settle down, but now it's only going to be rolled between games. So that might also be a reason for some turn. We have seen things aren't as flat. There may be some footmarks as over number 6 resumes. That's a beautiful stroke off the front foot by Dilpreet. He's growing in confidence with every passing ball. He's looked really good. We've been very impressed off his back foot play. And that brings up the 50 in the 6th over. They're looking pretty good for chasing down that total, Lenny.
Yes, Munir. Dilpreet Bajwa, he's looked the part. 50 on the board so far.
And that's great calling, great coordination between these two. Steal a single from right under the nose of the fielder at covers.
So they need 95 from 58 balls. So much left in this game. We saw them posting 145 when they batted first. Unique Tigers. And the chase is on here. 95 from 58 balls, asking 9.8.
Nice and full, and it did seem like it did something of the seam. Very late movement, as you saw from the keeper. As it passed, it was still going into the batsman. Great dive by the keeper to stop it.
Yeah, Hamilton has had a very good day. We saw him getting among the runs. And he's a top quality keeper. He comes out of the Atlanta Lightning minor league team. Dilpreet Bajwa, he's played a very good knock so far. 51 on the board.
And this one is dispatched from its presence. Look at that shot. Like I've been saying, we love the back foot play of Dilpreet. He looks so confident of anything that's pitched even slightly short.
It's very sharp. Ball that is short, and look at that. Bang! Through the onside. All the ease in the world. Finds the gap too. And that's a commanding shot. That's a lovely off the bat of Dilpreet Bajwa.
Almost a short arm jab. Not a huge follow through. So quick to pick up that length is Dilpreet.
Yeah, 3 6s and 2 4s for him. So he has really found the ball. He has really gotten the ball to go across the boundary board and even over it on a couple of occasions.
And this one is nice and full. Driven to cover, a dot ball. In spite of that 6, Lenny, it's been a decent over by Salman. Just needs to close it strong. The last delivery's coming up.
Yeah, he's only given up 6 in this over so far.
Just as we were applauding him, that slowish ball, I wouldn't say it stuck in the pitch. I think he rolled his fingers. And the batsman was really confused early in his shot, played a check shot. Only managed to hit it gently back to Salman. And he picks up a wicket. So 2 back-to-back wickets in 2 overs.
Yeah, very soft dismissal here for a man who's been batting extremely well, Dilpreet Bajwa. Yeah, you're right on that. Ball held up in the pitch. These days, we'll have to give the credit to the bowlers with so many variations. But we'll talk about that when we come back. 6 overs gone. 55 for 2. You're watching the DAFA News 2023 Houston Open. And this matchup is between Seattle Thunderbolts and Unique Tigers.
So at the end of 6 overs, 55 for 2 is the score. The new man in is Prajit Moody, the wicketkeeper. Has played at a good level in the subcontinent. And this is the kind of chase and the kind of situation that suits his play, the way he bats. Likes to get in, bat long. Perfect player for this situation as far as the Seattle Thunderbolts are concerned, Lenny.
Yes, Munir, and the door is wide open here for both teams. They haven't put any points on the table yet. Someone will in probably an hour or two. Chitneni will be the man on strike, Shreyas Chitneni. He's joined by Prajit Kumar Moody, 55 for 2. Sahil Charania has returned to the scene. And you get the feeling, Munir, that when a bowler has struggled on one side of the pitch, the common thing to do is to put him on the other side. But he's been shown a lot of faith. And he comes back into the attack to start over number 6.
And that's nice and full, just outside the off stump. Shreyas was looking for a lavish drive. Misses out. One thing I'll point out, Lenny, is got to keep an eye now. Something interesting is developing in the context of this game. 8.5 overs, 91 runs. We've had this perception, I'll come back to that point after this ball, and that might be drifting down the leg side, allowed appeal, and they get through for a single. So since that 25 for 5, Lenny, we've had this perception that the Seattle Thunderbolts are way ahead in this game. There was that 120-run partnership, but we still said they are behind the curve. It's not a par score. Now they've taken 2 wickets. They're putting some doubts in the minds of Seattle Thunderbolts. It might be an interesting chase from here on in.
Yes, Munir, you're right on that. The door is open for anyone to win this game. Still a long way to go. 90 runs from 52 balls, asking 10.3.
And that's nicely played by Prajit. Off the back foot, glides it to third man for a single.
We saw a couple of wickets to fall. We saw one off the bowling of Patel. And also we saw Salman Safi. He came in and in his first over was able to induce a bit of false shot from Bajwa.
And that's a good delivery by Sahil. We saw in the last over, there's been some sieve movement. The ball is still moving in the 7th over. And so was the case on that occasion. Very late movement. And the keeper also, you see him pointing out as the ball passed the stumps. It just kept going down the leg side.
Yeah, we saw in the first over he gave up 14 runs. Had the line all wrong. But you look at what he has done in this over. Everything has been spot on so far.
And this one is played inside out. The class of Shreyas coming through. Doesn't get the distance, got more height on that ball. But they still get through for a couple of runs.
Yeah, ball hanging in the air for some time. Still a very quality over here from Sahil. He's only given up 4 runs in this over. And much different from when we last saw him. Under pressure to deliver a good bowling with line. He struggled in his first over.
And this one, he takes a confident step down the track. It was there to be hit, and he hits it too deep mid-wicket, only for a single. As over number 7 comes to an end at 60 for 2, 86 required of 10. This is getting interesting. Stay around. And this one that seems to be a loud appeal. There was a slash outside the off stump from Prajit. Sahil In fact, Salman, who picked up a wicket in his first over, continues.
Yeah, very, very big, expansive drive from Shreyas Chitnani. Didn't go too well, so this game hangs in the balance, 86 from 47 balls.
And this one is drifting down the pads. Not really. The umpire thinks it's crashing into the stumps. As we look at that replay, I'll try to slow it down.
Salman has picked up his second wicket. Take a look at this one. Yeah, pitched in line, impact in line. Very good call from the umpire. And that's plumb in front, 60 for 3.
Yeah, my bad. It looked like the ball ricocheted off the pads down the leg side, but when we look at the front-on angle, it was heading straight into the stumps. It took the pads and went toward third man. So my apologies for misrepresentation there, but pretty straightforward. Easy call for the umpire there. Alright folks, like we had been predicting for the last couple of overs, there's been a quiet spell owing to Salman and Sahil, who have bowled well within themselves. Nice tight line and lengths. It's 60 for 3 now. 86 required of 46 deliveries. What a comeback the unique Tigers have made in this game, Lenny.
Yeah, they have done that by a couple of wickets from Salman Safi. Impressive bowling spell from this man, 2 for 6. He's picked up the important wicket of Dilpreet Bajwa for 32, and he was batting extremely well. And not too long ago, in fact, the last wicket to have fallen, that of Shreyas, leg before of the bowling of Salman Safi. So he has his tails up and will come into bowl to Chinmay Koshare. Still needing 86 from 46 ball, asking 11.2. And they're going just over 8 runs and over. So that numbers alone favors the bowling team at this point.
It's been quality bowling from these two so far. Uncharacteristic to bowl a full toss onto the pads. Luckily no harm done, just a single.
So the equation comes down to 85 to win from 45 balls. We made the point. Both teams have yet to put points on the table. One will. And who will blink first? That's the big question. We're watching this contest in earnest as Moody is the man on strike.
Again, one down the leg side. Wide ball.
So extras have gone up to 11. We've seen wides totaling 10. And one leg by so far. So bit of a healthy contribution from the extras column. And all that is part of the game. Benefits the batting team. And it allows the bowlers to get their line right.
This one is a better delivery. Outside the off stump, punched off the back foot, too long on for a single.
So 83 from 44. Pressure a little bit on Seattle Thunderbolts for the time being. And that is because Munir, they have lost wickets falling at 49, 55, 60. They got off to a really good start, not losing a wicket for 49 runs.
On this one again, the second wide of this over. Just as we were applauding them for the tight line and length, there's been a couple of extras. Salman needs to come back strong. This game is getting tight by every ball.
Well, he's picked up a wicket in his second ball in this over. Would have picked up the wicket of Shreyas. So 82 to win from 44 balls. This game is still wide open for any of these teams to win it.
And this one is nicely played off his pads to the fielder at deep mid wicket. Another single. Now it's getting to a point, Lenny, where somebody might have to put a hand up and take on the bowling, because before you blink, the required rate is going to be hovering around 14 or 15.
Right now it's 11.3 and they're going at 8.3. So the fact is there's a bit of a gap of 3 units. And that only favors the bowling team. They've really put in some good overs. We saw a better over from Sahil not too long ago. But this man bowling, he has picked up a couple of wickets, 2 for 11.
This is nice and full. He was looking to drive it towards covers. Gets a thickish outside edge. A single, and the over comes to a close. 8 overs at 65 for 3. So 80 required of 42 deliveries. 66 for 3 overs to come. At the halfway mark, Lenny, we wouldn't have thought it would get this close, and there would be such an interesting game these two could be contesting in.
Yes, Munir, it gets very interesting. 80 to win from 42. Those numbers favors the bowling team, but you never know. Shashwat Kohli, the man on strike. And we may have said Moody, we apologize for that because of a short change.
And this is nicely played of the back foot. Direct hit could have affected a run out from backward point. Still get through for a single.
So the two batters out in the middle. Chinmay Koshari, he will be the man on strike. Shashwat Kohli as the batter at the non-striker's end. We haven't seen Prajit Modi yet. 67 for 3, 79 needed from 41 balls. Asking 11.5, and they're going at 8.2. Munir, this game hangs in the balance, favoring the bowling team for the time being.
Very rightly said, Lenny. As Prasad continues from the forest end. And this is again that turn we spoke about. There's some grip on the surface now. It's obvious to be seen.
And it's funny that that these turns are coming from the left arm orthodox. You would have thought from the wrist spinner they get a lot more turn and bounce. But look, it's coming from orthodox spinners.
This one again is handsomely cut off the back foot. Singles are just going to keep pushing that required run rate into that 14, 15 run territory. It's getting to a point where they at least need a boundary or even 2 every over.
12 runs is they're asking per over right now. And they're going at exactly 8. A bit of a gap there that really benefits this bowling unit.
That's played of the back foot. There shouldn't have been a single there. He would be disappointed, the fielder at covers.
Yeah, that's a bit of advantage when you're feeling in the ring. There's time to recover while the ball is heading towards the boundary. You cannot make those mistakes when you're feeling in the deep areas. Still a very tidy over here from Patil.
And that's fullish on the leg stump. Very nicely flicked. They are coming back for the second. Good fielding there.
Yeah, still a tidy over here from Prashad Patil. He's only given up 5 at a time in which this batting side needs 12 runs and over. So he still has 7 runs in this over in reserve for the other bowler. And he will want to finish and finish tidily. 5 runs in this over. This has been a quality one here from Patil.
And again, this is cut off the back foot. It could be tied, but the fielder fails to pick it up. And the over comes to a close. After 9, it's 72 for 3. Back live now. Over number 10 coming up. A little conference there. Things are getting really tight. It's nail-biting stuff now. What's been baffling, Lenny, is there's been the approach of the Seattle Thunderbolts has been very sustained, very underwhelming in the last couple of overs. They're allowing that run rate to creep up to that 15-run mark, unless there are some real serious power hitters sitting in that dugout who are really confident of chasing 15 and over.
Yes, Munir, you're right on that. Not since the fourth over. They have gone beyond scoring 6 and 8 runs and over. And so Unique Tigers have really pulled this game back. We've seen a very good spell so far from Salman Safi. We saw a very good over last from Prasad Patil. And now things are beginning to really get a little tough here for the Thunderbolts. They need 12.3 and over. They're going at just 8. So a bit of a gap there, which really benefits anyone who's bowling.
Over number 10th, about to start, and that's punched off the back foot to deep mid-wicket for a single.
And you look at Azim. Azim comes into the attack here. This is his final over. He's bowled 2 overs for 16 coming into this one. So he's gone 8 and over. On a day like today in which you're defending 12.5, probably if you bowl an over with 8, if you bowl to your average here today, you still will be bowling well.
Again, just defended of the front foot. Where's the intent? Gonna bring you a quick update from PV6. UMMC Knight Riders have cruised to a win in just 10 overs against the St. Louis Americans. 117 for 1. Now there's the intent, but not good execution there. Unfortunately, he just skies it up to point, and that's another wicket down. The Seattle Thunderbolts are slipping.
Yeah, more trouble for them. They were behind on the run rate, but look at this. Another wicket falls. Well judged catch. Had to wait a long time and had to call off the other fielder who thought he had a chance. And in the end, another wicket falls. 73 for 4.
So, Jaskaran Malhotra for that UMMC Knight Riders. A 68 today of 29 deliveries. 72 on Wednesday of 29 deliveries. The captain delivering the goods, and with that the UMMC Knight Riders should be quite confident. They should feel like they've already got 1 foot in the playoffs. They've been the team to beat so far. They've looked really good. Alright, so back live. It's been a Cinderella story for the Unique Tigers at 25 for 5. The way they made a comeback in this game, and now are quite ahead. Rishi Bhardwaj, that's a quicker one, an arm ball. Another great over. Ongoing at the moment. Just 2 more deliveries to go. They're looking at 73 more runs of 32 deliveries. Where are those runs going to come from, like Lenny pointed out? Short and wide gives him ample time. Sweeper cover is going to cut it out for just a single.
So Chinmay Koshare and Rishi Bharadwaj out in the middle. Still needing 72 from 31 balls, as Munir mentioned. Asking rate almost 14 runs and over. They've lost 4 wickets along the way.
Defended off the front foot, Lenny. Good technique going on. Five overs to go in the second game of the day on Prairie View 5 in the DAFA News Houston Open 2023. 72 runs are required by the Seattle Thunderbolts. Anyhow, the tables have turned in the last 10 overs or so.
So Sahil Charania has been given the ball. 2 overs, no made, none for 18. He's gone for 9 and over. Asking rate is 14.4. Rishi Bharadwaj has just come to the middle. Chinmay Koshare, he's up at 7 so far. And they need 72 to win from the next 30 balls. Who will win this one? It looks like Unique Tigers in a good position now.
Nicely played off the back foot. Goes for a single to third man.
So not a bad start here from Sahil. We saw his first over would have gone for quite a few, many wides in that first one.
Trying to make some room. Just punts it to backward point for another single. Singles are not helping their cause, Lenny.
Yeah, Munir, you're right on that. With the asking rate 15 and over, I know Rishi Bharadwaj has just come to the middle along with Chinmay Koshare. But they'll have to, at some point, anytime now, have a go at this total. 70 to win from 28 balls.
And Rishi Bharadwaj brings out the improvisation, but that fielding there, top notch, so much commitment there by the Unique Tigers. They've got their tails up. Confidence is brewing in that dugout.
Yeah, a couple of runs, and the fact is, Munir, once the bowlers can restrict the batsman from taking this ball over this boundary ropes here or across it, you could be considered they're bowling well.
Seems like that ball skids on. Rishi had different plans. He was looking to find that gap to the left of fine leg who's inside the circle. Skids through and it stings him on the back leg.
Yeah, both of these teams are looking to put points for the first time in this tournament. And we'll have to wait and see. A lot more to play for. Of course, one more rung this afternoon. One more rung in the morning. And then the knockout stage will begin at about 2:30 tomorrow.
Rishi Bharadwaj looking to give him the charge. The ball's down the leg side. Good take there. So white ball is signaled.
Yeah, that's a very good take from Hanchard Hamilton. We saw earlier on the other Hamilton, Jamar Hamilton, who's played for the West Indies. And very interesting, Munir, he comes out of the island of Anguilla in the West Indies. That has only produced 2 international players.
And almost a slog sweep there from Rishi Bharadwaj. There's no pace on the delivery for Rishi to bat to his strengths. Just drags it to deep mid-wicket for a single.
So just coming back to the little island of Anguilla, who would have produced 2 international players for the West Indies. One being Omari Banks, Not too sure if you remember that name, an all-rounder. And then, of course, Jamar Hamilton, who has played briefly at the international level.
And again, trying to advance down the track. He's been so miserly. Sahil has been mixing up his pace. A lot of slower deliveries of the back of the hand as a single finishes the over. After 11, it's 81 for 4. So as you see on your screens now, 65 required of 4 overs. We've been saying before you know it, the required rate is going to creep up in excess of 15. It's 16.25 now. More than a couple of boundaries would be needed. A couple sixes at least every over. Even that may not do it. As over number 12 is about to commence. Rishi Bhardwaj is betting on 5 of 6 and Chinmay is betting on 9 of 10. And Rishi tries to come down the track. There's a huge appeal. The umpire doesn't think there was any kind of tickle.
And Munir, just to give you an indication how well this bowling unit has really bowled, we haven't seen a boundary since the 6th over. Over number 5, Salman Safi comes into the attack, and a couple of tidy balls in this over. He's given up a couple of runs in his second ball. So Seattle Thunderbolts have some work to do here. 63 from 22 balls.
And this one is again driven down the ground, but there's just not enough impetus on those strokes. Just gently crawls too long on for a single.
Yeah, they need a couple of big overs there. 21 balls to get 62. And this match has really swung in the favor of Unique Tigers. They posted 145. We saw an excellent knock from Everoy Dyer and Hanchard Hamilton posting 120 run partnership. And you can follow all these scores and a lot more that we're giving you if you go to PVCC Cricket Clubs and pick up all the happenings, all the score sheets, as many games are happening simultaneously. 5 games on tap at the moment. And you can also pick up forthcoming fixture tomorrow and the times where games are being played.
And Rishi Bhardwaj, he's been trying quite a lot of things. It's worked for him so far. Another dot ball. And I recollect to go. I pointed out that there may be brewing where Tigers could come back from behind. 80 were required of those 9. Last 6, only 22 runs have come. That's how subdued this has been.
So 3 runs in this over so far. Salman Safi's bowled well.
And this one finally, Rishi Bhardwaj makes some kind of connection and it goes over deep mid-wicket. Clears it by quite some distance. He was trying that for a very long time.
Yeah, he does have the ability to go big. And look at this one. Into the onside, gone over the ropes, gone for 6. They need a lot more of that, as the required rate has gone up to 17.6 and over. 56 to win from 19 balls.
They're going to need a lot more of those 6s. At least 5 more of those to give them any kind of chance in those last 19 balls. That might be another one of those. And it is. What a shot there. 6 more. Rishi Bhardwaj turning it on finally.
Couple of big strike here from Bhardwaj. Timed it well. Hitting with the wind straight down the ground. A couple of sixes to end the 12th over. It's 96 for 4.
See, with only 3 overs to go now, taking a look at this worm, it's going to be a very interesting graphic. You don't get to see those ups and downs like these in T20 games, but you saw the Unique Tigers were down and out, but then that partnership getting them to that total. And Unique Tigers have bowled so well that Seattle Thunders have been just flat in the last 10 overs or so. Finally, owing to those 2 sixes, they're back in battle.
So Akil Posa has been given the ball and he runs just inside the 30-yard circle.
And bowls it right in the slot. And it hits Rishi Bhardwaj to the sweeper cover right at his throat. And that brought about Rishi Bhardwaj's downfall.
Oh, what a perfect start to your bowling spell. Ball outside the off stump. And the batter's looking for runs straight into the hands of the man at cover. And another wicket goes down, 96 for 5.
My apologies, that wasn't Rishi Bhardwaj. Rishi was at the non-striker's end. The batsman that's out is Chinmay, who's dismissed for 12 runs of 14 deliveries. Never got going off the blocks. 50 runs still required of 17 deliveries. Still a very tall task for Seattle Thunderbolts. Matthew Tromp now comes out. Matthew is known to be a power hitter. Even for his young age, he's quite a finisher, Lenny.
Yes, Munir, and if he could be the trump card here today, with 50 runs needed from 17 balls, you never know. But they're under pressure here. Good start from Akil Posa. When we saw Akil Posa marked his run-up, we were kind of surprised that this young man has marked such a long run-up, but he has made a very good start. And one is surprised that he's bowling in the 13th over. He has picked up a wicket, that of Koshari, and that brings Matthew Trump with 50 runs needed from 17 balls. Advantage has to be with Unique Tigers, but you never know.
Yeah, Akil seems to be a very young fast bowler. Wired frame, can afford to put on that kind of work in this heat. Another full delivery, nicely hit down the ground. Rishi wanted the strike. The run wasn't to be had. Another dot ball. So 2 dot balls in this over. 50 of 16 now, Lenny.
Yes, Munir. And the fact is, no pressure on the bowler at all. If as a bowler in a 15 over game, you can defend 19 runs and over, then you shouldn't be playing this one. So 50 needed from 16 balls. We saw them batting extremely well. 120 run partnership by Everett Dyer and Hanchard Hamilton has really set them up for a win here this afternoon. And the way it's looking, something has to go horribly wrong for Unique Tigers to throw this game away.
Matthew Trump, remind you, played a lot of his cricket for Houston Hurricanes in the previous season of minor league. He packs a punch. He can clear the boundary. As he shows on that occasion, what a shot! Watch out, Roddy. And that clears the boundary by a good 20 meters.
A big strike here from Matthew Trump. Not only brings up the 100, but look at this. Exactly what they need. Ball on the off stump. And look at that. Some bit of weight. That goes big over the offside. And that is exactly what Seattle Thunderbolts will need from here on.
But a juicy half volley as well, Lenny. Just where Matthew wants it.
And the fact is, he won't have to stop here. He will need to push on, get more runs in this over. 44 needed from 15 balls. We've seen at various level of T20 cricket, especially the international level, 15 runs, 15 balls to get 44, and teams will get it with balls to spare.
Akhil needs to get this right. The game is never over till it's over. That's a good delivery, a loud appeal. I think they're going to get through for a single. That puts Rishi Bharadwaj on strike.
This is a very good ball from Posa, realizing that the batsmen are looking to swing. They want to free their arms. He bowls into the pad. Smart bowling from this man. 43 to win from 14 balls.
Now Rishi Bharadwaj, he's got quite a few options. He's also good with that lap shot of the fast bowlers. I see that fine leg is inside the circle. There's a lot of gap behind the field. Third man and point are also inside. Akhil to Rishi. And short delivery and beautifully cut by Rishi Bharadwaj. One bounce four. What a shot.
The last 4 shots this man has played, Rishi Bharadwaj, was 2 sixes, a single, and now a 4. Look at that. On the off stump, giving some bit of height. You can't bowl like that. And that has gone away for 4. That's a lovely shot from Bharadwaj. He goes up to 21 and brings the equation to 13 balls remaining, 39 to win.
3 runs per ball, Lenny. Is there another twist in the tail? 4 or 5 sixes.
So Posa, who started well, getting a wicket off his first ball, has gone for 11.
And this one is down the leg side. The umpire is not going to let him off. That's a wide ball. 38 of 13 now.
So it's 15 extras so far. 13 of them wides equaling 13. And so final ball coming up in this over. If you're Rishi Bharadwaj, you retain strike or you go for a big 6 here.
Go full and straight. Don't let Rishi get under this ball. Young Akhil. And that lap shot I was talking about. It was always coming, but Rishi would be so disappointed to miss out on it. A leg by finishes the over. 109 for 5. In fact, there was no leg by signal, so that's off the bat. Rishi is going to get the strike in the next over. 109 for 5 at the end of 13. So I'm going to quickly pull up the bowling card for the unique Tigers. 2 more overs to come. Azim Charania has bowled out. So has Sahil. Both the new bowlers have bowled out. Salman Saifi has bowled out. So unless they're going to Evrai Dyer, it's got to be Prasad and Akhil now to bowl the last 2 overs.
Yeah, you get the feeling that Evrai Dyer might bowl the last one.
Yeah.
He's only bowled 1. And so the ball has been thrown to Prasad Patil. 109 for 5. This is one last throw of the dice for Rishi Bharadwaj. He will have to probably bring it home. Matthew Thrump, we saw him in the last over, struck a good 6. But now it comes down to the next 12 balls. 37 to win.
Thunderbolts.
18, 15, 16.
This over's got to go. The first ball, Rishi plays the lap shot, which he's very good at. But it only results in a single.
And this bowling team, once they can avoid allowing the ball to go for boundaries, then they'll certainly win this game. 11 to win. 11 balls remaining, 36 to win. Matthew Trump comes into strike.
Matthew Trump, this has got to go. Can't leave it too late. They need a couple of 6s at least in this over. And he misses out. Then he was a bit too early in that shot.
Yeah, that's a minor triumph there for Prasad Patil. Very good start to this over. Just a couple of balls into the over. He's only conceded one.
And he tries the reverse sweep. Rishi Bhardwaj tried the lap shot. Matthew Trom tries the reverse sweep. He might be better off just hitting down the ground, Lenny. But I think that might be too little, too late now. 9 balls to go. 36 still to win. And this one has gone straight up in the air. The keeper, Hamilton, completes the catch. Easy peasy. That's another wicket down. With that, maybe the hopes for Seattle Thunderbolts also.
Yes, Munir. They have not only lose the wicket, but more importantly, that's a dot ball. That's one of the best dot ball you can bowl. A wicked dot ball. Take a look at that. Good, well judged catch here from an experienced keeper. He's very reliable. He's safe. Hanchard Hamilton pouches one, and it's 110 for 6. Still 36 to win from 8 balls.
So what's also been baffling is Prajit Modi hasn't come out to bat yet. He's one of the most established batsmen in the Seattle Thunderbolts lineup. But that remains a mystery for some other day. Right now, the new batsman is Mahidar. 36 to win off 8 balls. 5 sixes, a 4 and a 2.
And the fact is, a loss here for Seattle Thunderbolts will mean that they'll lose 3 matches in this competition, all 3. And the writing is on the wall at the moment, Munir. Mahidar on strike.
Nicely punched off the back foot. Looking good on the camera there.
And I'm surprised Rishi says, wait, don't run. As if they've got so many balls remaining. They only have 7 and 36 needed.
Yeah, he has a license to go and throw the kitchen sink. Rishi wants a strike for the last over. Even if he hits a 6 here, Rishi has to hit 5 sixes in the last over.
And so Thunderbolts will lose their third game of this competition.
And he does hit a 6 like we predicted. It goes a long distance. So, final over. Rishi Bhardwaj, 5 sixes.
Yeah, lovely strike from this man, but might be a little too late. Look at that. Short and hammered in to the onside, and it's gone for a 6. And so the last over coming up, they need 30 off 6 balls. You're watching DAFA News, Houston Open 2023. And we're coming to you live from Prairie View in Texas. So Akil Posa will begin the final over. They need 30 off this one.
And he takes the single. They've got to come back for a second for Rishi Bharadwaj to have the strike. Almost a direct hit there. 28 of 5, Lenny.
So all of these balls will have to go for a 6. Rishi Bharadwaj, we saw him so far has struck a couple of big sixes, but it all comes down to his 6 hitting ability if he has one. And Akil Posa, once he can bowl maybe another dot ball or a ball that has not or will not go for a boundary, things are safe.
And that delivery might be the curtains now for Seattle Thunderbolts. Young Akhil, don't overstep. Don't bowl any white balls. The game is done and dusted. And what a comeback it's been, Lenny, from 25 to 5. We thought it was going to be one-way traffic. But on the back of their 2 senior statesmen and a lot of young bowlers bowling to a good plan, the unique Tigers have just slowly notched back up in this game. And like I said, the commentator's curse. A wide ball.
Yeah, we've seen a very good last over here being bowled by Akil Posa. Forget the wide for the time being. I like this bowler. He runs in from a very long way. He seems to have a little bit of pace. And he's been given the last over here with lots of run to defend. 27 from the next 4 ball. Here he is.
And Rishi tries that lap shot again, for which he's known, but does not clear that fielder on square leg, straight down his throat, and another wicket falls. It's 119 for 7 now, still 27 required of 3 deliveries.
Yeah, you can't fault any batter at this stage. Looking for runs, looking for big runs. And I think at the start of this over, with them requiring quite a few 30 runs in this last over, it was always going to be tough. It's 119 for 7. It's unique Tigers all the way here on pitch number 5.
That might have hit his helmet. They're trying to get through for a single. Prajit is the new batter. Almost affecting a run out there, Akhil. Yeah, that was flush on his helmet. The new rules now need for the umpires to ensure there's no concussion. Almost a foregone conclusion this game now.
So 26 in a couple of balls. Mahidar will be on strike. The umpires are just conducting that concussion protocol. And just making sure that the batsman is well aware of what's happening here. That's a couple of balls remaining, and it's surprising, Munir, that batsman still takes guard at this juncture of the game. With 2 balls remaining, you swing for the fences to try to get 26, which is totally impossible.
And Akhil quietly has picked up 2 wickets as well. And another yeah. That one just held in the pitch a little bit. He was too early in his shot. Might have brushed him near the neck or the shoulder.
Yeah, unique Tigers will put points on the table. And on the other side, Seattle Thunderbolts will lose their 3rd game of this series. Not a good one for them. And unique Tigers will probably play another game tomorrow. So we'll wait and see as Posa runs in
Last ball coming up. And this one is also going to be... It's not a dot ball. We've got another extra. Anticlimactic, that last ball. A white signal. So he has to bowl that again.
Would it have mattered if umpire Aditya Gajar had just not signaled a ball and the game is finished? Would the batsman ever complain? But you never know. It could be a start of a 25 wides in a row ball by Posa and give it away.
Consolation could be a boundary or a six here. And he swings it for the fences. It's not going to carry to long off, who converges in. They're still going to try and go through for a second run. And the keeper does the cleaning up. A subdued ending to this game with 2 overs to go. We were hoping for some kind of fireworks, but they never happened, Lenny.
Yeah, they win by 22. A very good win here for Unique Tigers. They posted 145. And in reply, Thunderbolts lost their way. I thought they had a good start. There we go.
The match summary there on your screens. 22 runs for the Unique Tigers. Unique Tigers were put into Mullapudi got 2 wickets, and so did Nama and Kumar, 2 and 1 wickets apiece. And Thunderbolts came on to bat. They their batting lineup, and there was nobody who put up their hands and wanted to bat and get this chase underway. Patil got 2 wickets, Posa got 2 wickets, and Safi got 2 wickets. So 22 runs, the winning margin. And I'll pull up the batting team stats for you, Lenny.
Yeah, there we go. We saw we saw good batting at the top order. Dilpreet Bajwa looked pretty well. And also towards the end, we saw Rishi Bardwaj, 25. The fact is, when Rishi Bardwaj came in, they were requiring 12 and 13 runs and over. Always going to be tough. But that's your batting card for you.
And coming over to the bowling card for Unique Tigers, they should be super impressed with the way they bowled. They didn't have any big stars in their bowling lineup, but they bowled to a plan. They kept tight line and lengths. There were some extras that they conceded, but we didn't see a lot of freebies. There was a phase of 6 to 8 overs, Lenny, when there was no boundary or 6 conceded. And we saw this coming with about 9 or 10 overs ago, that it might be a difficult chase for Seattle Thunderbolts. So that's the news from the middle. The Unique Tigers have triumphed with 22 runs, and they still stay alive in this competition. We would be coming back live pretty soon with the next game. That's going to be between Kingsmen and Clarion Eagles from PV5. This is Munir Majid and Leonard Achebar signing off. We'll see you again in half an hour.